Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Glammed Rebel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for daily updates. Spoilers for the bold and the beautiful B&B suggest that Thomas Forrester might lose his sanity and devise a plan to eliminate Brooke Logan permanently. Could Brooke be in grave danger now that she's on the verge of stealing Taylor Hayes away from Ridge Forrester? Thomas adores his mother and is quite protective of her, so he won't appreciate it when Brooke successfully blows up Taylor and Ridge's latest reunion. That could be enough to send Thomas back into a downward spiral. Of course, it wouldn't be the first time Thomas has targeted Brooke. We can't forget the CPS call mess and all the other times Thomas has stood against Ridge's destiny. Thomas may be gearing up for his worst plot, yet if Brooke pushes him too far. Although Thomas got therapy and has supposedly been rehabilitated, there's always a chance he'll head back into more villainous territory. Matthew Atkinson is a talented actor who really shines when he's playing Thomas's sinister side. This might be the perfect time to have Thomas lean into that side once again and deliver some explosive drama as a result. Since Thomas will return to B&B by early September, many fans are wondering what B&B has in store for him. Thomas will have a chance to react once Ridge finally chooses Brooke over Taylor, so you can bet he'll be furious. Perhaps his old issues will resurface, driving him to eliminate Brooke from the map. Maybe Thomas will decide that as long as Brooke is alive, she's always going to stand in the way of Taylor and Ridge's happiness. As far as Thomas is concerned, he may think Brooke should have perished in that boating accident. Thomas may try to take charge of the situation and set the stage for Brooke to meet a grim fate. Thomas might even start fantasizing about Ridge leaning on Taylor once he's grieving for Brooke. That doesn't mean Thomas will truly take Brooke out, but he could at least turn psycho again and make things entertaining. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Thomas could bring some twists and turns once he makes his big comeback. So stick with us for updates on any scary news to come. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that Thomas may seek revenge for Taylor. Could he plot to take Brooke out once and for all? The bold and the beautiful has consistently showcased high-stakes drama, shocking betrayals, and characters balancing between redemption and relapse. Now, the latest spoilers hint at a storyline that could catapult one of the soap's most complex characters, Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, back into dark and dangerous territory. If Ridge Forrester, Torsten K, ultimately chooses Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, over Taylor Hayes once again, Thomas might decide he's had enough. Thomas, obsessed with his mother, may see Brooke as a barrier and the one who has broken Taylor's heart and ruined her happiness for years. What will happen this time? He might not just settle for verbal sparring or emotional manipulation. This time, the whispers are growing. Thomas may want to take Brooke out of the picture permanently. A mother's heartbreak, the trigger for Thomas's downward spiral. Taylor Hayes has been through this cycle so many times. Viewers could recite it by heart. She and Ridge reconnect, sometimes due to a shared crisis, sometimes through renewed romance, only for Brooke to sweep in at the 11th hour and reclaim her destiny. This current reunion between Ridge and Taylor seemed different at first. Italy brought moments of nostalgia, the kind of grand romantic backdrops soaps dream of. There were warm scenes on the Amalfi Coast, intimate dinners, and even promises exchanged that hinted at a fresh start. But Brooke was never truly gone from the picture, and the recent boating accident, where Ridge heroically saved Brooke's life, reignited an emotional bond that Taylor simply couldn't compete with. Now, with Ridge appearing ready to recommit to Brooke, Taylor is left on the outside looking in once more. And for Thomas, witnessing his mother's devastation could be the decisive moment. The Thomas we know and the one we fear. Longtime fans know that Thomas Forrester's mental health journey has been anything but smooth. This is a man who has alternated between loving father, creative visionary, and ruthless manipulator. His romantic life has been tainted with obsessive behavior. His rivalry with the Logans is marked by some of the most underhanded schemes in recent B&B history. Could you pinpoint the most infamous incident? The CPS call scandal involved Thomas faking evidence to frame Brooke for reporting him to child services, which led to a temporary collapse of Brooke and Ridge's marriage. It was a cold, calculated move that showed just how far Thomas was willing to go when protecting his family or his self-interest. Since then, Thomas has been in therapy, rebuilding relationships, and striving for redemption. But in the soap world, reform is often temporary. If he perceives Brooke as the primary source of Taylor's unhappiness, his darker instincts may resurface. Brooke Logan, the perennial rival. For decades, Brooke Logan has been at the center of the Ridge-Taylor war. She's Ridge's true love, his destiny, the woman he can't quit no matter how often he tries to build a life with Taylor. To Thomas, this isn't a star-crossed love story. It's a cycle of heartbreak that leaves his mother perpetually wounded. In Thomas's eyes, Brooke is manipulative, opportunistic, and selfish. Her charm might win over Ridge, but for Thomas, it's a mask hiding destructive tendencies. And if the boating accident becomes a symbolic second chance for Brooke, Thomas might interpret that as the universe giving her one too many reprieves. The Italy fallout, where rage meets opportunity. When Thomas returns to the bold and the beautiful in early September, the timing couldn't be more volatile. By then, Ridge may have already made his decision, a decision that leaves Taylor rejected and Brooke triumphant. Imagine the scene. Thomas walks into the Forrester mansion, finding his mother quietly packing away a memento from her Italian trip with Ridge, her face clouded with sadness. She tries to put on a brave front, insisting she's fine. But Thomas knows, and that's when something shifts in him. This case isn't just about Ridge's choice. This is about a lifetime of watching his mother settle for second best, of seeing Brooke win battles she didn't deserve to win. And in his mind, the solution becomes chillingly simple. Remove the problem. The possible plots, how far would Thomas go? If Thomas decides to act, his methods could range from subtle psychological warfare to outright danger. 1. Character assassination. Thomas has proven he can manipulate evidence and bend reality to fit his needs. Another scheme, like the CPS call, could ruin Brooke's reputation with Ridge and the Forresters. 2. Setting her up for a scandal. Imagine Thomas fabricating proof of Brooke's infidelity or betrayal, something that would implode her relationship with Ridge from within. 3. Pushing her to the edge. Thomas could manipulate situations to emotionally isolate Brooke, causing her to become paranoid or insecure, which in turn could lead to costly mistakes. 4. The darkest scenario, an accident that's no accident. B&B has flirted with physical danger in its storylines before, from cliffside confrontations to car accidents. Could Thomas engineer a situation where Brooke's luck finally runs out? Could it be a malfunctioning railing at the Forrester mansion? Has someone sabotaged the car? Is there a boating trip that ends differently from the previous one? The Ridge factor, love, guilt, and blind spots. One of the most dangerous elements of this potential storyline is Ridge himself. Ridge's love for his children is fierce, but he has a history of overlooking Thomas's warning signs until it's too late. If Thomas strategically maneuvers, Ridge might not recognize his son's spiral into obsession until Brooke's real danger has materialized. Ridge's guilt over choosing Brooke could also make him vulnerable. If Brooke were to suffer a tragic accident, Ridge might turn to Taylor for comfort, exactly what Thomas would want. The reasoning behind the soap opera's plot makes sense at this moment. From a narrative standpoint, bringing back Dark Thomas now would be gold for the bold and the beautiful. Matthew Atkinson's range. Atkinson thrives when Thomas is morally ambiguous or outright unhinged. It gives him material that goes beyond romantic fluff and into Emmy bait territory. The Brooke-Taylor Ridge triangle holds deep emotional stakes for fans. By incorporating Thomas's perilous love for Taylor, the drama intensifies without resorting to cliched tropes about love triangles. A multi-character fallout. If Thomas crosses a boundary, it impacts not only Brooke and Taylor, but also Hope, Annika Noel, Douglas, Ridge, Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and potentially even characters like Liam and Carter. Fans are speculating. Will B&B really take this storyline in that direction? Soap fans are already buzzing on social media about the possibilities. Some think Thomas will limit himself to manipulation, more CPS call-level scheming. Others believe that B&B could dare to push Thomas into a truly dark place, particularly given Brooke's history of surviving multiple near-death events. There's also the possibility that the show will tease danger without delivering the ultimate blow, allowing Thomas to scare viewers without permanently altering the show's core cast. But here's the thing, soaps live on suspense. And the best way to create that is to make the audience believe anything could happen. What this means for Taylor. Ironically, if Thomas were to spiral in this way, it could have the opposite effect of what he intends. Taylor, with her deep compassion and moral compass, would never condone harming Brooke. If she suspected Thomas was behind any accident or scheme, it could fracture their relationship and force her into an even more protective stance toward Brooke, if only out of guilt. This creates another juicy layer. Thomas could believe he's saving Taylor's happiness while actually pushing her further into Brooke's corner. The long game, redemption or ruin. If B&B plays this out over months, Thomas's arc could swing in multiple directions. Redemption. He comes close to doing something irreversible, but pulls back at the last moment, confessing his intentions and seeking help again. Downfall. He transgresses, resulting in either family exile or legal repercussions. Ambiguity. For months, viewers ponder whether Thomas was responsible for Brooke's serious accident. Final thoughts. Thomas Forrester's return in early September has the potential to shift the entire canvas of the bold and the beautiful. Whether he merely schemes against Brooke or genuinely plots to eliminate her, the Brooke-Taylor-Ridge triangle remains far from resolution. And if Thomas's darker impulses take control, the fallout could be the most explosive the show has delivered in years. The question is no longer if Thomas will take action, but how far he's willing to go, and who will stop him before it's too late. You are welcome to share any video requests in the comments. I will make a video about it. Stay connected with the Glammed Rebel for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God protect you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.